My name is John Bowersox. I am the lead custodian here at Knox Presbyterian Church. Before I was employed here, I was a park ranger for the Girl Scouts. What brought me here was COVID. When COVID had hit, they were closing the camps, and I needed to start looking for another job. I had two prospects, which was a Christian college in Wheaton and Knox Presbyterian Church. So when I first started here at Knox, I was approached by many people to attend the Indian Prairie Great Banquet. As it turned out, I am very thankful that I went through the Great Banquet when I did. It showed me that I need to help other people that need help and not just look away. And once again, I am very, very happy that I went when I needed it. I can't say enough about the people and the banquet itself, of what it did for my peace, what it did for my strength in the Lord. It has changed my life forever.
My name is Frank Mayer. My wife Beverly and I moved here 41 years ago now from upstate New York. She wanted to come to the Presbyterian Church, but I had a problem because I was raised Catholic, married as a Catholic, divorced as a Catholic, and according to the Catholic Church, can't do that. So I would come to church occasionally, but I really felt like I'm damned to hell. What's the point? Church had an all-church study called 40 Days of Purpose, and Beverly said, why don't we go to that? Will you come with me? And I said yes. And I enjoyed it, and even though I was divorced and remarried, and they knew that, I was welcome in this church, and that was a real blessing for me. Our pastor at that time asked me if I would speak to the congregation about my experience, and then she asked me if I would start a men's Bible study for senior men. And here we are 20 years later, and I've been doing it ever since. And Reb Deb at that time asked me to go to the Great Banquet, and I said, what's the Great Banquet? She says, trust me, you'll love it. So I went there, and I learned for the first time how we are saved by Christ's sacrificial office on the cross, and I have been going forth ever since that time. One of the things that I learned in all the Bible studies was that Jesus said in Matthew 6:25, do not worry, I'll take care of you. Just be righteous, and God knows what you need. Well, I needed a church, and He provided. However, we had another need. Our son Adam is severely mentally disabled. He's like an infant in a 41-year-old body. For many years, we prayed that God would help him develop, but God eventually provided us what we really needed, and that was misericordia. 4 years later, somebody from General Electric called and said, we have a need for you in Dallas. And I said, I can't move to Dallas. I have a handicapped son, and he's got a wonderful place here. And they said, please go down there and get started, help us. Finally decided, well, we can take Adam and take care of him ourselves. I mean, we love him. Why not? We'll build a house with quarters. And we were all set to go. The house is almost done. The house here in our area was up for sale. A young couple came to look at it, and they loved it. But they were worried that we live on a golf course. We stepped out on the back deck, wham! Instantly, a golf ball flew into the yard right in the middle of the swing set. 2 weeks later, they came back. Bam! Golf ball hit right next to us, bounced off a window. That was the end of that deal. And I said, you know, the next golf ball is going to hit you right between the eyes. God is sending you a message. I called Beverly. She said, okay, go ahead, come home. And I did. I had 12 years of Christian Catholic education, and I never knew what it really required to be a Christian. And Beverly and I have both grown a lot in our faith because of that, and that has also been helpful in accepting the fact that Adam was never going to be the young man that we had hoped, but he's happy. He doesn't have a concern in the world because he doesn't really know much what's going on, but he is very happy. We have a very interesting program going on right now where our pastors are talking about stumbling blocks, things that prevent people from coming to church. The idea being that we need to do away with those things and be a welcoming church no matter what your background is. We want everybody to be able to learn and grow and share in Jesus and his salvation.
I'm Mary Beth Mulholland.
I'm John Mulholland.
And we've been members at Knox for about a year now. I don't think that we really thought we were church people, which now sounds really bad, but at the time it wasn't a part of our lives.
We both grew up with a church home. You know, I might have been in a different place than Mary Beth. I was a little more hesitant, I think, because I saw the value of being, part of a community, and I really wanted something to raise my children in and to be part of that community, and really wanted some kind of service aspect to it.
And right around, when we had kind of talked about that, one day I was picking up our son Henry from Kids Day Out, and then my car wouldn't start. Took about an hour and some help from people at Knox to get it going again. And I remember sitting in the car afterwards being like, okay, message received. Perhaps we should check out Knox as a potential church home.
If you told me a year ago that I would have been a member of a church a year from now, let alone gone to church pretty much every Sunday and be part of a community and active, involved in all those things, probably would have told you were crazy. But here we are.
Abundantly more through us in Knox has been a lot of little things that have led to kind of this sense of peace and gratitude and unanswered prayer, because this is really what I always wanted for our family. And I didn't know if we'd ever find that right fit.
I think the abundantly more thing for me is just maybe a surprise at how much more I've gotten out of being a member here. I think I started out, like I said, with just a good environment for my kids. One's 6, one's 2. We have a third on the way, actually. We'll talk about that. But our 6-year-old loves the kid programs, and now our 2-year-old is actually going here on 2 days a week as well.
So I'm part of the children and family ministry now and really love helping with the events to try to get other families to realize, the abundance of just great events and faith and service that Knox provides. It's an answered prayer to be members at Knox.